Hey guys, what's going on? It's Rekt Capital. Welcome back to the channel and welcome to today's video about Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, a crypto market update about what's going on currently. So let's dive right into the video. Subscribe to the channel if you'd like to see more videos like this in the future. And let's dive right in. So this is the current market structure here for Bitcoin. And what we're seeing on this 4-hour chart is a smaller downtrending channel actually occurring here. So this would be a diagonal resistance and this would be a trend line. So a small triangle forming within this larger triangle. So you're seeing some transitioning into different market structures on lower time frames, but the general market structure that we should be paying attention to here is the technical uptrend that's been forming for a few weeks now. Whether you want to consider this as a triangle here, a bull flag even, although it's not your textbook bull flag, but a triangle nonetheless. If you want to consider this as a bull flag, triangle, some people are calling this a rising wedge by just drawing a trend line like this. It's all well and good, whatever your bias may be, however you want to draw this pattern. For all of these patterns, there's one commonality, and that commonality can't be refuted, and that's this multi-week higher low, which is still intact. You can actually see that we saw a downward wick to test this trend line as a support, like we've been seeing over the past few weeks now. And this trend line is the recurring theme across different patterns that people are trying to impose here on price. And that's going to confirm to us whether we're still in a technical uptrend, which we are still at the moment, or whether we're going to see a breakdown. So if we see a breakdown from here, the technical uptrend is invalidated. So you can invalidate this triangle structure, which is kind of assuming a more bullish bias. And if you want to draw a rising wedge, you're more than welcome to do that. The most important thing is a confirmed breakdown from this trend line would effectively bring price to lower levels. So those are my thoughts about whatever market structure you want to draw at the moment. But there should be consensus, more consensus on the higher time frames, and that's that this orange area here was a support in the past, which generated some great reaction. And before the crash from here, 53%, before the crash happened here, we saw some support, but it was very weak. We gave way here. So this is a demand area, even if we have to base it on a few data points in the past few months. But nonetheless, a support area right over here. And one of the things to mention here is that it's not a resistance. It's a more reliable support than it is a resistance. You can see that price wasn't really rejected here. And in the following week, we were able to close above here. And now we're testing this support area as a demand area, trying to gain some buy side pressure. Of course, if we lose this region, then this is going to become the home, the new home for Bitcoin. So around 38, or at least 39K to 46K. And the best way to think about this is, for a long time, we saw a multi-month range here from 29K to 39K, from the green area to the red area. This was the home, this was the range for Bitcoin. And we broke out from here. So that effectively means that we've left this range and we could now enter this range. But as you can see, this is now a red candle trying to persuade us we still have some more buy pressure. We can still move higher. We don't need to dip into this range. And now we're just waiting for that confirmation. Is that really true? Or do we actually have to slink back into this range and create this range as a new home? And that would be fine. That would actually be a healthy pullback into this range, because if we pull back into this range, that will mean to us, that will suggest to us that this is a new home, which is at higher price levels to this home. And just looking on a weekly time frame, that's still price progression, right? We're not going to be here any longer. We're going to be here. So this home over here is lower than this potential new consolidation range. So that's still price progression. And even if we have to consolidate here for a bit, so be it. But at the moment, there is no confirmation of that happening, but it is a scenario that's worth watching for. Because yes, this is a support region right over here, but we also have a potential resistance area right over here, which is just above price action. And we haven't been able to reach this area right over here. We're at the moment trying to retest this as a support. And if we do retest it, then we're going to rebound to this area, which is 50 to 51, 52, the 50K region. Definitely. That's probably where we're going to rebound to. So does Bitcoin have another leg in it to just try and break to higher levels? Is that psychological 50K region going to resist price in a way that we break down into this range, or are we going to break down into that range earlier? Because we can't see continued upside for Bitcoin, because we've already seen 4 weeks of straight upside, and if we see a rebound from here, that's going to be great because we're going to see even more upside. But we have to watch out for wherever we are going to see some bull side momentum tapering off a bit. We need to watch out for these green candles getting smaller and smaller potentially. And if we're going to see a small green candle this week, then you might make a case that we are running out of that steam and we might have to dip a bit, maybe pull back a bit in a healthy way, just to reaffirm some support at lower price levels and of course dollar cost average into them. So this is the next resistance to watch out for. This is the support that we need to confirm as one. And if we do, we rebound to 50. If we can't, we break down into this range, and that's great. In any case, that's my outlook on Bitcoin. What about Ethereum? Ethereum is forming this 4-hour triangular structure right now, very similar to what's going on with Bitcoin on the 4-hourly. But same thing applies. Technical uptrend lasting for multiple weeks. As long as we hold here, then the technical uptrend is still intact. The bullish is still, the bias is still bullish, apologies. And as long as we continue to coil into the apex of the structure, volatility becomes more of a probability. We're going to see that volatility translate into price. Break down from this trend line, we go down, break above this trend line with a 4-hour close. That's going to be a nice opportunity for upside. But at the end of the day, you can see that we got a fantastic weekly close above this historical demand area. This orange area successfully tested it as a support, and now we're hanging just above, or at least below, this wicking resistance. Should this be a strong resistance point for Ethereum? That's just one data point. We can't really say at the moment, but if we break out from that triangular market structure that we're seeing here on a 4-hour time frame, then we might actually see some possibility to even move higher beyond this resistance. And if we get above that, then the next resistance is above 3,500, so 3,650 for instance. One of the levels to watch out for. Of course, if we lose the triangular market structure here on the 4-hour time frame, then you can always make a case for the 3Ks, which is a psychological region that people tend to think about, with downward wicking into the support area that is orange here, which is also a possibility. But overall, Ethereum is forming a U-shaped reversal, and any dips would probably be healthy on the way to just completing this U-shaped reversal. This is something I spoke about in the previous video. This being a U-shaped reversal, really painting the path quite nicely for completing and revisiting those old all-time highs, or at the very least, this resistance at around the psychological region of 4,000. And ADA, Cardano, which has been following Ethereum quite closely over the past few weeks, really started to deviate from that correlation from Ethereum to Cardano. Cardano is actually outpacing Ethereum and has formed a U-shaped reversal of its own right over here. So you're seeing Cardano outpace Ethereum, and if Ethereum manages to just figure out its current consolidation structure, it's going to become a market leader once again, and Cardano is going to slow down in relation to Ethereum, and Ethereum is going to catch up in trying to make some ground in terms of its U-shaped reversal and U-shaped structure. So Cardano very close to revisiting its final resistance area right over here. The problem here is that this was the major resistance point for Cardano. You can see resistance here as well. And pullbacks, well, there is very little support inside this overall range. So pullbacks into the red area would be healthy, and you can see that that's a possibility, especially if Cardano can't break to new highs. But of course, if we see a continuation structure here form for Cardano, then we'll revisit this major resistance and try to challenge for those all-time highs. In any case, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video where I just showcase a few scenarios and how I think about the price action of Cardano, Ethereum, and Bitcoin. Thanks so much for watching today. Subscribe to the channel for more videos like this in the future. And of course, like the video if you enjoyed this one and would like to see more videos like this, crypto market analysis as a whole, and understanding the various price movements and price predicaments and scenarios for what we could potentially expect from various crypto assets. Subscribe to the channel, like the video, and I'll speak to you in the next one. I'm Rekt Capital. Speak to you soon.